and gentlemen, City Skylines back again, another part. Make sure you smash that like button if you enjoy the series. Picking up here today with more airport construction, having a look above downtown, and everything seems to be running pretty smoothly. I had actually put it on cheetah speed, I guess, or wherever accelerated time is, for a little bit just to make sure there's no pending issues. And it seems like everything's running pretty smoothly, as I mentioned, but yeah, I mean, there's really no bust. I mean, to be honest with you, the little bit of industrial over here that we put through is doing pretty well. And fortunately, these little power plants, I've had somebody comment, it's actually quite unbelievable showing how much, and I think it's a little bit unrealistic in my opinion. Two little solar plants are able to run this whole city. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? But all in all, I think we're doing pretty good. I did add a little bit more industrial here in our little ore mining operation, or dig, I guess, if you whichever one you call it. And over here too is a little bit more industry, but no abandoned buildings, no job messages, fortunately. We can go over here too, just kind of showing everybody. All of our homes are nicely upgraded, and I mean, doing pretty good. A nice little shot of the observatory out that way, and pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, let me show you what I did over here at the International Airport area. I did scale this down quite a bit. I did a little bit of research as I thrown up those screenshots. It was just a little bit too big. I think this actually came out a little bit better too. Looks a little bit like a light bulb, but it was coming out all the way this way. And granted, I know we have the terraforming tool, and this pollution is getting absolutely terrible. I actually have an idea for that. I'm gonna mention that either today or in my next video. But the way it kind of was, it was just stretching out so far that we weren't really going to have any room for, anything else. So I just assumed make it a little bit smaller. I think it actually came out pretty good. And I actually connected this rail line up, which was a complete headache, as you can imagine with all these pillars here. I've wanted to experiment with the no pillars mod, but then I'm kind of like, I kind of wanted, I'm cheating in every other aspect and fashion of the game. Why not just do one thing legit? And having a game or having a mod that gets rid of all the pillars, I mean, come on now. What would be nice is if they just incorporated it to move the pillars. That's really what we want, but I don't know. So, today, like I said, we're going to focus a little bit more on this. What I want to do is we have to make, excuse me, I have something flying around me. Is we have to make something very similar that's going to go around the outside, because again, this is going to be kind of like for the main traffic that's going to kind of harness the load. And what my intentions are is to have another ring around here where cars can get on and off and stuff like that, and kind of move forward and actually zone the airport on that outer line. So how we're going to do that is a little bit up in the air now. Obviously, we're going to need to create something that's almost identical to what you see here, only ground level. And then let me bring up another point while I'm thinking of it. These bus lanes, I actually posted something on Reddit. I'll throw it up. These bus lanes kind of help you and harm you just as much. Now, if you're a city, and I believed me to be that type of city, where your buses are just running loose, then I would say do these bus lanes. If you're not, like it's kind of hard to say, because I believe that the buses use the bus lanes when they're actually en route to a bus stop that's nearby. But if some of these buses are like going back to the bus terminal, or if, for example, like that bus is going like way out here somewhere, they don't tend to use it. And what happens is all the other cars, you're not going to see another car in one of these lanes, and they all just kind of hug these center four lanes. So, as you can see here, I mean, look at this traffic pile up. Now, look at this U-turn. Very nice. I like that. Kill 3 people while you do it. If I were to just go ahead, and let me show you something here. If I were to just go ahead and just change this to this, I'm creating a whole other lane here for people, and we're gonna experiment with this here. Let's just upgrade this portion of it here up to this stoplight, with the ability to travel in this other lane. So I don't know. And parallel park. I don't even, I think it's getting rid of the opportunity to parallel park too. I don't see too many people parking on the street here. I guess they could if they wanted to, but yeah, there's one. But what I'm getting at is I think I'm gonna change and swap out a lot of these bus lanes. Maybe I'll leave some of these, like the center stacked one that's oh no wait, this one here where it's kind of connected to the bus terminal. I think I might leave that one, but all these other ones I think I'm gonna get rid of. So anywho, let's go back out over here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and use the 6-laner. Actually, well, I don't know. I guess we can. I just don't know how much traffic we're really anticipating out here. Maybe we can do this one. Okay, so let's see. Let's get... Okay. And this is kind of going to be more the same. I might cut some of this out, but I downloaded also the American... I think it's called like the American Roads mod. I think it looks pretty cool. It's got a lot of like little potholes and nooks and crannies. You can actually adjust that through a slider bar. The intensity of the cracks. Little fire hydrants there. It's kind of close to have fire hydrants though. I don't think you need fire hydrants that close. What is that, like a mail bin? So there's a couple little props that you get. I don't know if that's similar on all roads, but definitely notice it with this one. So I thought that was kind of cool, seeing how I do live in America. So again, we're going to try to do our best here to get this about as accurate as possible. This is quite tedious. You know, this is for somebody who's kind of like blah and doesn't really, you know, focus too much on the finer things. This could be a little bit much for you, but, you know, soothing. But I essentially want to go all the way around here. And best thing to do is just to take little baby steps with it. Like that was a blunder. When you're going around the curves though, you might want to bite a little bit more off, because if not, then you're going to get roads that are kind of jagged. I don't like jagged. But yeah, so oops. And this is going to look super cool. I know it will. I have envisioned it. And it's going to be, like I said, I give a lot of credit to some of the ideas I see on Reddit. But, you know, most of the ideas that you see, you probably have had yourself. It's just you've never yet seen anybody, you know, act on it. So that's what we're trying to do here today. Let's see how this looks. Looks pretty spot on. You can always make adjustments. And I know I say that a lot in my videos. You know, you can always change it. You can always make adjustments. But that's really the reality of it. I mean, don't like some of these games, these newer games nowadays. You know, like, you know, you select a job or you select a class or a profession or whatever, and then like, you know, I don't know, 3 months later you're like, you know what, I don't really like this, and then here you go, you've invested all this time and it's difficult to change, if you can even change it. In a game like this, man, I mean, you make a mistake or you don't like something, you just change it. It's no sweat, you know. That's what I really like about it. Plus, it's what I like to do, city building. A lot of people asking me to start playing Sims 4 again, and to be honest with you, I like to believe that I try to take a more serious approach when it comes to gaming. You know, more explain the tutorial and the things you can learn and kind of take from the game. Sims 4, I mean, unless you do just like straight up house builds, actually it looks pretty good. Unless you do just like straight up house builds, I mean, you gotta kind of have a real joking approach to it. And I mean, I consider myself, you know, a decently funny person if I want to be, but I don't know. It's just not the way my channel's revolved in. I'm not some little kid that, you know, jokes around and makes wisecracks and cuts in and out of videos with friends screaming in the background. And I believe that Sims 4 is that type of game, all the stupid stuff you can get these people to do. That's kind of why I've gotten away with it, or away from it, but maybe in the future. Anyway, so a lot of you probably asking yourself, well, Captain, how are you going to zone these roads here? Well, very good point. We're actually not going to zone the roads off of here. What we're going to essentially do is we're going to create some crossroads going through the middle here. Now, this road is not going to stay. I'm just using this as an example. But if we go ahead and we take, like, let's get a nice little aerial shot here. If we take a road and cut it right through. Oh, there's a pillar there. But if we take a road and, let's see. And we cut it through. Hopefully we won't hit a pillar on the other side. That's not going to stay, like I said. But we're going to be able to essentially draw, like, on and off ramps onto a road like this. And stuff like that. You know what I mean? And we can kind of get people in and out that way. So, again, that's just a rough example. It's not staying. Train station choices, too. I've been looking. I really want to get a nice centerpiece here. Train station. I did download, and I'm actually going through some of the airport mods. Like, I have, like, terminals. This is, I think, the airport itself, right? Yeah, airport. But, like, if you were to put some stuff out on the sides like this, we might have to flatten these edges out a little bit. Because that looks kind of derp. But, let's say, we're going to just do a rough throwdown here. So we got that. I don't even know what this is. But if we had, like, terminals. Use that subway line. Oh, that's actually going to work out pretty well. We can actually throw subway lines in here. I'm going to have to mess with these roads a little bit. And then what else we got in here? We got airport roads, so we can actually, I don't know, we can create another runway out here, or 2 runways, and then connect this up over here. Like stuff like that. You can see it takes shape fairly quickly. You can't zone on those roads. That's kind of a bummer. These are like lights. Why would you make that so you have these are actually lights, like you can see here, that would go at the end of a but why would you make it so a road? I think we have these zonable ones, like if I put, yeah, see, like something like that. These are actually runway lights. But, I mean, you see what I'm saying, though. Like, I mean, this is a complete rough draft. Nothing's going to stay. But as you can see, like, if we flatten out some of these edges here, these are likely where our planes are actually going to come in and out. And then we can actually go ahead and draw some of those roads in, some of those airplane roads. And I've actually looked. There's so many different ones. But you can actually make, like, runways coming through here. And, like, I don't know. You could go crazy with it. There has to be some sort of form factor to it. You can't just throw down these roads. But all in all, I mean, you could really, this could take off big time. Let's see, can we get it? I'm interested to see how. I guess you can get it right up along there. See how it connects up. So you can kind of go around and make, pavement everywhere, and super cool, super cool. But this is going to take a decent amount of off-camera tweaking. I don't like to do too much when I'm not recording, just because I like to show you guys what my anticipation is, and that's why I kind of just did that. Of course, I'm not going to lay down the airport when I'm not recording, but some of the other little fine-tuning things, like flattening out those edges there and stuff like that, they're in some cases quite tedious. I did ask in the last video if you all like to see time lapses. I might do one just for the purpose of the international airport, like maybe record for 2 straight hours on my backup hard drive, because my SSD is probably completely jammed by now. But record for like 2 hours and speed it up for 30 minutes or 20 minutes. This way you can kind of see, what my development process is. I think that's probably the best approach for some super large project like this. But laying down the roads and stuff I thought was pretty fun, so I wanted to show you that. And yeah, super cool idea with the why is this? That was not like that the other day. That derpy dip. We'll have to get that addressed. That was not just like that. I think this road here caused some sort of fluctuation, unless I just thought I didn't notice it. But we do have this interchange here that I believe will be able to hold the load. If not, then we might have to do a couple revisions here. I really hate to do that because it is a complete pain in the neck. Even these little roads here, this is a traffic jam waiting to happen. But I really don't think. I don't want to say I don't think a lot of people are going to use the international airport, but I don't think it's going to be as big of a strain as like the exit points are to this city where everybody lives, or even this bridge here where you have all these buildings. Now, I could be wrong, and we'll find out soon enough, but I think we should be okay with this little roundabout traffic, and if we have enough, like almost, maybe if we do one here, maybe if we do like 3 or 4 cross sections with at least 3 or 4 on and off points around there, I don't really see it getting too bad, but we'll see. So all in all, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. It's been a pretty quick, decent episode here, showing you some plans. Everything else seems to be pretty organized. I did add a metro station in here. That was the other thing I did, which nobody seems to be taking, and the garbage isn't getting picked up either. Yeah, so I mean, I think we're pretty good. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. I did add a couple metro stations. I revised the lines here. Let me show you what I did before we hang up here. I added, I don't know if you remember, but I actually swooped in and I connected these lines over here. So what I did was I disconnected that. There's now a stop here. So as you can see, the grand scheme of things, they come here, actually go to our little island here. They go to our little industry little segment. I put a stop there, which I think this stop is actually getting some real work, and then now it's connected back up. I don't know, man. I think these numbers lie. Somebody did mention in the comments below that when you have this game on cheetah speed or whatever, the days and weeks go by very quickly. So these numbers here can come and go. That's why it says passenger service last week. I would rather it say something like passenger service daily or today. You know, maybe that would be better. Maybe there's a mod for that, some sort of detailed view. That would be ideal. So, yeah. So, all right. So we'll go ahead and hang up on that note. Again, appreciate everyone for tuning in, and we'll see everyone in the next episode. Bye.